Welcome to the Daily Devotional Podcast with author, pastor, and speaker Zach Maldonado, a podcast about helping you know and enjoy Christ each day.
So we're continuing to look at the book of Genesis, and what we see is God in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, it says, by the seventh day, God completed his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, or set it apart, because on it he rested from all his work which God had created and made. And then what we discover, what we find out, is that God does the work, and then Adam and Eve show up. God does the work, and Adam and Eve show up, meaning the work was done, and Adam and Eve lived from the finished work. They didn't live for it. So in the same way, when we look at the cross and the resurrection, we show up. The work has already been done. The work has been finished. And now we live from the finished work of Jesus Christ, not for it. We live from the resurrection, not for it. We're not trying to earn or achieve or perform for God to do anything about our salvation or our spiritual condition or our spiritual blessings or anything. Put another way, we live from rest, not for it. We live from the work, not for it. You know, I'm terrible at this. I don't know how many times that Monday comes around and I just cannot wait for the weekend. I mean, I am living for Friday night and Saturday night where my wife and I can just have some downtime and some alone time, right? So a lot of times I can live for rest. I can live for the weekend. I can live to go to sleep that night or whatever the case may be. But in Christ, we're not living for the rest. Actually, in Christ, because we're in him in every moment, we're already spiritually resting in Christ. The work has been done, and now God is inviting us, just like in the garden, God is inviting us to live from what's already been done. We're not seeking to accomplish anything. We're not seeking to do or to try to get God to do something for us. Instead, we're living in response to all that God has already done. So do you realize what you're living for and what you're living from? You're living from the delight of God. You're living from the love of God. You're living from the acceptance of God. You're living from the righteousness of God. You're living from the forgiveness of God. So we don't have to look in our rearview mirror and look and be consumed with our past. Have you ever tried to drive by looking at the rearview mirror the whole time? You can't do it. You'll get in a wreck. You got to look ahead and look at what's to come, knowing that your past is forgiven, that you're living from all that God has already done. So hope this encourages you today as you look back at Genesis and realize all that it foreshadowed and pictured for us in Jesus Christ. And in Christ, we have something even better than what Adam and Eve experienced. And we are living from Christ, who is our source of life.
You've been listening to the Daily Devotional Podcast with Zach Maldonado. Join us each day for a new devotional that will help you know and enjoy Christ. For more great content from Zach, including his books, sermons, and more, check out zachmaldonado.com.